It's a bull. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Man, I got this report out a little bit late today. Been busy as heck this morning. What a crazy week with gold and precious metals. So I'm looking forward to actually spending some time doing what this guy is doing right here. A little time on the water, in the water, something. Should be a beautiful weekend this week as well. Let me close this screen. What's the temperature out there? 81, a little warm, but it was nicer this morning, that's for sure. Well, let's talk about a few things. Going to keep this video fairly short. And again, sorry about the lateness on this one. Just been tied up with a bunch of things. And I don't mind doing them a little bit late because we get to see what the prices close at today on a Friday. So we can call this kind of the week wrap-up. Let's take a look at my quote for the day. And I think this could really apply to this week and what we've been going through for quite some time, actually. But this is a great quote for the week. Things are not always as they seem. The first appearance deceives many. And let those of you not deceived yet cast the first stone. So let's take a look at spot prices. Man, all over the place. Look at the ranges here, since yesterday. Now, I'll say one thing, and I don't want to keep rehashing this Ukraine event, non-event, whatever. It was an event for sure, but I don't want to keep rehashing this Ukraine thing. So basically what I felt would happen has happened. As soon as things kind of started to flatten out, and it looks like this may not be a full-scale, well, invasion's going to be a hard word to use because, yes, it is an invasion, but typically invasions, the invaders don't leave. Now, it'll be interesting to see if the current President Zelensky does make a deal with Putin on keeping weapons out of Ukraine and NATO out of Ukraine. So. And from what Putin says, they'll just pull out of the country if that happens. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what kind of deals are signed. And markets have backed off because of this, how do you like this? The threat of peace. People like to say the threat of war, but the markets have backed off because of this threat of peace. I think gold and silver markets were, again, telling us that this would happen, and then telling us yesterday that it was going to back off like it did. It's kind of weird. Sometimes maybe gold and silver are a tell on but world political happenings and events. Let's see what we do have here, that's not a bad range actually compared to yesterday. Current gold price market is open at $18.93. There's New York closes down there if you want to take a look, but let's take a look at what happened after New York close. A high of 1921.44 today and a low of 18.84. And again, currently 18.93, backing up to that $1,900 mark. I just did the gold to silver ratio. I think it's 78.34 to 1. Boy, I'm surprised I got a memory. I can memorize something for 10 minutes. But 78.34 to 1 is the current gold ratio. That's backed off. Oddly enough, silver has kind of held on to its gains. Gold has kind of gave up some of its gains, but I think we're seeing the markets in gold and silver move back up again. Platinum as well did back off, and what is platinum? 1,045 a low, a high at 1066. But wait, I forgot to talk about silver. 23.90 the low. I did see an intraday low. What was it? No, I don't think 23.90 was low. I thought it was 23.88 or something, but I could be wrong. And 24.52 is the high. Remember, we were in $25 territory yesterday morning, so a wild ride for silver this week, but completely expected. Can you imagine well, let's not say this Ukraine deal is over, but we'll wait on Monday. I suspect if markets are calming down, gold markets and silver and platinum markets are calming down, that means that there's some agreement probably being talked about right now. However, again, weekend's not over. This thing is not over for sure. And we could see prices shoot up violently Sunday night, Monday, again, depending on what happens this week. Well, let's take a, well, there's your range right there on silver. Let's look at the 24-hour charts here. And here we go. There's our 24-hour spot gold price, and as you can see, we were kind of sideways. Look at that just below 1920. It kind of drifted sideways most of the day throughout New York, or most of the evening last night, and then throughout New York today. Where we are right now, it's kind of drifting up on the aftermarkets, or what they're calling the New York Globex or Crimex markets, the after-hour Crimex markets. So that market is drifting up somewhat. Look at that from yesterday, though, yesterday morning. Wow, a high at 1970 and just a complete monkey hammering down. I do not believe that this is organic. I believe that this is probably people taking short positions. I believe the commercials are probably at it. Again, my opinion on this, and I believe that is a result of yesterday's monkey hammering and the continuation of that today with gold. And remember, silver people, where gold goes, silver will follow at some point. But silver is showing some amazing strength out there. 24.22, take a look at this. There's our green line from last night. It kind of drifted below that $24 mark here in the afternoon and such, but the aftermarkets so far, and they're going to be closing soon, are drifting back up above that $24 mark, 24.22. So again, I think we're going to have to really keep an eye on what happens with this Ukraine crisis. If it just blows apart, the deal blows apart, and it turns into the worst case scenario, which I'm really doubting. I'm really doubting that, and I have doubted that. I'm really surprised that things kind of transpired the way they did, but hey, none of us have a crystal ball per se, and things are not always as they seem. First appearances may deceive a lot of people. So I think we're going to see the markets just kind of be about the same on Monday, or maybe go up slightly higher, or slightly lower. How's that for a prediction? Yeah, to go up higher, go up low. But as I said, I think if we see some real action heat up on the Ukraine-Russian deal, which I'm not hoping for. I don't want to see gold and silver go up for that reason. Yeah, I think you would see metals up quite a bit, as would oil and some other commodities. Let's take a look at the stock market. This just surprised the shit out of me, but it rebounded as well, and here we are right now. Dow's up 700 points, 82 points on the S&P, and NASDAQ up 163 points. Overall, up. But something that's been confusing me through this whole crisis, and actually I've been following for a while, Bitcoin seems to be following. Now, I thought Bitcoin was going to be like gold and be a counter trend to the stock market and other things in the dollar, but Bitcoin is almost following the stock market directly. When the stock market is taking big hits of recent, Bitcoin seems to be taking those same big hits, while gold seems to be benefiting from that. Same thing with the war thing that happened this week. When this war thing broke out, or the potential for a war or an invasion, whatever anyone wants to call it in history in the future, Bitcoin prices just kind of followed that choppy action of the Dow. They didn't do the opposite, and you kind of expected they would. I thought that was kind of the safe haven, the new safe haven, but apparently not, because the price action didn't prove that. I mean, over the course of the week, there you go, right? This is over the Ukraine crisis. And again, yesterday, take a look at this dive. I mean, really? That's supposed to be crisis money right there, a good hedge like gold. And gold did just the opposite. Gold did what it's always done in these type of crises. I'm not dissing it, but if any of you know why, and really I did not expect this behavior from Bitcoin. I really didn't. I didn't think Bitcoin was going to just kind of follow the equities markets up and down, and mostly down of late. And I didn't think Bitcoin was going to get knocked to shit in the Ukraine environment. What happened, really? That just confuses me a little bit, because it's the opposite of what a lot of Bitcoin bugs said would happen. And again, not dissing it, and for you guys that make money in the crypto markets, man, you're blessed, and I really feel I really give you the kudos, man, because you know how that market's played. So good for you, not dissing you. I'm just kind of curious why it's not doing what we were told it's supposed to do. And if you got any thoughts on that, put it in the comment section. And for those of you that don't understand Bitcoin, and I don't understand it exactly that well. I don't profess to be an expert in it, but just observations on my part. And for you Bitcoin experts out there, you got to look at guys like me and say, well, listen, if Brian's asking these kind of questions, there's surely a lot of other people that are asking these type of questions. So I'm not dissing it. I just got questions about it. I don't look at it the same way, and I am curious why it hasn't moved in the way we were told it would move in these type of environments. What am I an expert at? I'm an expert at physical precious metals, which means I'm an expert at buying and selling wholesale and retail gold bars, silver bars, gold coins, silver coins, all types of gold and silver type products. I know my metal very well. I don't deal in paper. I'm not a chartist. I do like learning about those things, but my specialty is precious metals, physical. And again, wholesale and retail. And here's what I'm going to tell you, which I've been repeating for a long time. The best deals out there are still generic 1-ounce gold bars made by Sunshine, made by Valcombi, made by Rand Corporation, made by RCM. made by PAMP. These are all good bars right here that I would recommend. And again, you should be able to buy them for spot plus $73 or less. You know, Eagles at spot plus 100 to 113 bucks over are too much money, folks. Still can't recommend them at these levels, and it's not getting any cheaper either. As far as silver, same thing, man. Best deals out there are 1 ounce bars, 10 ounce bars, and 100 ounce bars. But guess what? I got a little special deal for my local folks down here. If you live in my area, as you know, I don't ship, and I'm not an online. I'm not a telephone or a telemarketer dealer or a online dealer as well. I advertise to beat the online dealers, SD, JM, and APMEX. I can beat their prices on these type products, but I got a great deal on kilo bars. I forget where I was going with that, but got a great deal on kilo bars right now. Some really well-packaged kilo bars. I can sell them for spot plus, spot plus $2.75 per ounce, if I'm correct. I've got to double check my invoice. I just bought a bunch of them. And again, while they last, I might still have availability next week, but spot plus $2.75 is cheap for kilo bars. And what else did I get? I got 100 ounce bars at spot plus 3. And again, this is the starting price for small quantities. So that's the best deal. You know, I wish I could tell you silver eagles and silver maple leafs and other sovereign state coins were a great deal, but they're not, folks. In fact, word is that sovereign coins, which means Canadian, South African, UK stuff, Australian, all the silver coinage is dried up right now. I don't know what's happening, but right now, primarily what's out there in that, especially at a reasonable level, is your generic 1s, 10s, and 100s and kilos. So stick with that, folks. You'll save yourself a lot of money. And if you got the urge to buy some shiny stuff and something pretty, get into rare coins. I'll tell you what to do. I'll show you how to do it. Well, that's it. I'm going to wrap this video up, and I'm hoping that everyone has a great weekend. And as I always say, this is my theme for the year. Think for yourself, question authority, and even question what you think you know. Maybe you got it wrong. You never know. And you'll never know unless you question yourself. Well, that's really about it. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Call me anytime between 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays. And if you don't live in my area and you can't deal with me, don't fret. Find yourself a good local dealer that's got great prices, great information, and is a handsome guy like me. Even if you have to drive an hour or two, try to keep that money in your state. It's real important. For my local customers that come in to see me, all the money you spend, it goes back into the community through my employees and myself, folks. So a lot of it does. So there's the importance of buying local. Well, that's it. Have yourself a wonderful, nice, safe weekend, and I will talk to you Monday. Let's see what happens. Bye now.